Okie doke. Okay, let's have a look. See where we are, guys. Okay, so if anybody's in at the moment, I'm just going to be checking the community just to see if any questions have been left. But if you could let me know if you can hear me, okay? I was hitting I think I accidentally hit one of these buttons, one of these many buttons on a Stream Deck, and I might have knocked my mic settings off. So hopefully it's back to normal now. Okay. So yeah, let's go into, yeah, it looks a bit weird, no BS, something's weird happened to the, oh, no, it's back to normal. Okay. Welcome, guys. And if you're in the community, welcome as well. I'm just going to bring up the community window just to be sure. It's a couple of wee things that I've added in there. So any of you guys who are in the Top Score Music Academy community, I've added in like a few extra little things about, new stuff that's been added to courses and stuff. So I'm just going to double check to see if anyone's asked any questions about that or they need any help with that. I always do that first, guys. So bear with me. And if you've got any questions as well, hi Martin. If you have any questions as well, work away. You can type them into the chat there. I'll see them. Someone was asking, someone sent an email about the Discord, the audio from the Discord. Guys, I've not been able to figure out why that's not working. So yeah, it works for me and it works for one or two others who we were able to test it out, but for some reason it's very hit and miss. So until I figure out what I've done wrong, and it probably is me, what I've done wrong in the Discord, we're just going to leave it to the chat for now. Okay. So I will promise I will look into this. I always have, as you guys know, I always add more and more to these things over time, but I'm very slow because it takes me forever to learn it. So apologies for you guys in Discord who've been, trying to get it to work. I'll look into it, don't worry. Okay, let me check my community. Let's see. Our community. Oh, radio, yeah, those have been added. That's good. I'll let you guys see this actually, just in case if you're not in the community yet. Okay. So it's the social media post I've just added, like a recent thing that I've sort of made for Instagram of me and Olivia sort of playing reel together, Limerick Lassies. Although she recorded it separately and probably wasn't expecting me to add my accompaniment to it. And another weekly update to the full Irish Bouzouki course. So yeah, there's another wee thing in there, guys, for any of you guys who are in the full Irish Bouzouki course. That's been added. So that's good. And as yet, everyone's okay with that. No questions just yet. Okay. Hopefully it'll be self-explanatory. Okay, so I actually don't need this open anymore. Let's close that down. I'll go back to full screen for a minute because I think I did get an email. I just want to check, just in case it's anything personal. I don't want to release it out to the stream. Let me see. Top Score Music Academy. Oh, Martin, I think I actually got an email from you. Oh, cool. Let's see. Last night you mentioned to send a recording of a session. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, brilliant. Okay. You sent like a little MP3 or M4A. I can convert that, no problem. Are you okay with me downloading that and having to listen to it? Or is it something private? Do you want me to just not broadcast it? Let me know in the comments there if you prefer just to keep it. If you want to keep it private, that's no worries. Let me just see, because I can just turn off my computer audio for a sec just to see if I can convert it. So let me know if that's anything you want me to keep private or not. It's no problem. Okay. Wow, there were 21 of you guys playing in the session. That's a hell of a session. This was one of the tunes, phone plonked on the table, not picking up everyone. There were 21. That's my God. I've played in sessions where that's as many as you can fit in the whole bar. It was the only seconds. It was the second slow and easy session at this venue. But it wasn't as slow. Nearly half the folk playing there were from the KGB band. Oh yeah, that's right. My goodness, yeah, the group that you're with, yeah, that's brilliant. Okie doke. Well, I'll see if I can convert that for you. A bit of chat at the end. No worries. I'll turn off the chat. That's no probs. So, guys, what you can see here, if I just, well, everything's changed on the desktop. Yeah, the Queen's Head in. I'm just going to convert that into an MP3. Okay, so the thing that I use for that is pitch switch. Or actually, I can use Fission. Yeah, I'll use Fission for that. Let me just open this up. And drag this over here. Ooh. Do you know, I think I was meant to convert it first. Yeah, batch convert, yeah. Even though it's not a whole batch, you can drag in as many as you like. I'm only dragging in the one file and make it an MP3. And convert. There we go. It should come up here. There we go. So we can get rid of that M4A1. And now I can open this up here. I'm just going to, it looks quite loud, so I'm just going to turn it down a wee bit. Just to see how loud does it get. Oh, that's brilliant. Instruments. Is that a double bass? Okay, let me see if I can. Can you type in the chat there, Martin, what the name of that tune is? Because I might go see if I can find that. I might use that to teach. Is it like a hornpipe or a sea shanty or something, or do you have any idea what it is? It's very nice. Let me see. Okay, I'll go back to the start. I think this is the talking bit here, is it? Yeah, just at the very end. So what I can do is, if I just split from here. Yeah, just from about there, if I zoom in. Oh, good. Wow, how far? Like, this is 2 minutes, 31 seconds, 1.2. So this is all within like 1 second here. So I'm just going to go to about here and just split it. Which means I can just take that and just boop. Yeah, it definitely does speed up, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's about 50% faster there. Well, that's class. That's a brilliant tune. And let me see if I can get that. Session.org. The Fjord. Let me see. I wonder if that is in the session. It should be there. Yep. Really? Okay. Nice in the hill. Yeah, to me it actually was almost like a horn. It says rail, but it was almost like a hornpipe of that sort of bum ba bum bum ba 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 ba. It's like it's almost a bouncy rhythm to it, but it definitely has straight quavers. Da 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 da. I thought that was ba 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 bum bum bum, which would be more of a hornpipey sort of sound. But yeah, that's definitely real. Just with quite a bit of syncopation. Da bum bum ba 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 ba. It reminds me of a Sharon Shannon tune. I can't remember the name of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save that first of all. Just so I have the MP3 there. Yeah, it's a lovely tune. I wonder if I can have a go on that. I haven't got my bouzouki set up, but let's do it. Activate. Now, my bouzouki's plugged into my audio interface. Now, all I've got to do is make sure that I've actually got the bouzouki turned on. Let me see, loop back, pick up. Here we go. Okay. They're turned off again. Just try turning this up. Okay, let's try it again. Oh yeah. So I heard something go woo as soon as I turned that on. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. This is just out of interest, guys. It's going to be my until you guys ask questions. I just sort of, you know, this is kind of me time. But do please ask questions. It is meant to be Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free about anything. Doesn't have to be trad, doesn't have to be bouzouki, just whatever pops into your head about music that you've always had a question about, while I try and figure out. I think I know this one. Oops. It'd be easier actually up high. It's not hard, but if I put it up high, what would it be like? Maybe. No, I think I do prefer it without the capo, but I'm going to see if there's a different tuning for it. I think it maybe different fingering. Got a very bassy sort of, yeah, droney sort of fourth course if I do it this way. Yeah, it's probably better actually without the capo. Just keep it in straight D. Actually, it's probably going to be over the next course doing this. What is it? What was it? I'm reading the wrong line. I was reading the last line. Hold on, zoom in. Why is this only one line short? Yeah, it's I should be here. I was down here. Okay, so the G, this goes to dum ba bum dum 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 dum. I can't get those two F sharps for some reason in my head. Oh. Very unusual little reel. I'm trying to do this in straightforward, but it isn't. It's got more of a that's very really there. See, having like crotchet followed by da 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 da. That's very like a reel. But then the next rhythm in this bar is kind of back to syncopation again. Very buzzy, my Bouzouki today. Yeah, I'll have to have we go at learning that actually myself. That's a nice feature. Yeah, and it's probably a nice one as well for the sort of a slower, a slower sort of tune. For a nice slow session. Yeah, see the way that's written, that makes more sense actually, but it's not musically correct really to have ties across like that. But that looks more like a reel, but it's not really right having ties everywhere. Yeah, that's more of a straight reel there. That if I was to play that, let me see if I can get that on the get the tin whistle up and running. Okay, hold on a wee sec. I wonder if this is going to work. I'll actually just disable the other one just in case it doesn't work. So hopefully you guys hear me just still the same, but it's just going through the tin whistle channel now. Okay, so. Okay, that's kind of tricky, that one. That is tricky. That is tricky. I think I kind of prefer the first way of doing it, the sort of syncopation. That's a bit more lyrical, I think. That's a nicer version. What I'll do then is, as I always do, I'll show you guys the same thing. It's from Shetland. Oh, cool. Yeah, I hardly know any Shetland tunes, guys. I probably do, and I just don't know the names. But we pair it with Spootiscary. Spootiscary? I don't know the names of anything. This is terrible. I have to look this up. So yeah, I'm gonna put that then together with the other one. Spootiscary. Now, if I can remember how to download this, so I don't want the ABC, I want the MIDI. There we go, MIDI, and let's rename it. We'll afford. Well, it's laziness, to be honest, guys. Why I can't remember the names of anything, but I think actually it's also everything just seems to drown into each other. Oh, yeah, lovely tune. I wish I could interact more with work beckons, unfortunately. No worries, guys. No worries. You have to head off. That's no probs. Yeah, it'll be up on if you ever want to watch back in these things. At some stage, I'd love you guys like anything you having problems with musically, like to send me any questions, and I can always answer them, and you don't have to be here for me to answer them. You can send them in advance. Yeah, so that would be nice. Now let me see if I can go find the other one. Spoot is scary. Let me see. Tunes. Actually, I'll make sure this one's saved properly before I leave. Music score. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, it's typical MIDI file. It's literally just the sounds, the zeros and the ones, so it doesn't take into account the upbeat. Which I'll do that in a second. It's no worries. So we'll just save it here for now. There we go. So I don't need the MIDI anymore. There's Willowford there. Okay, but it's scary. Let me see. I wonder. Yeah, so someone searched it before anyway. You keep me in the straight and narrow here, Martin, if this is the right thing. Another reel. Now, does this sound anything? I'll go back to the proper audio. Hold on. I shall. Oh, I am still on Tidmus audio. Okay, no worries. Is that anything like it? Sorry, I'm making a mess of it trying to put in ornaments. I'm down here at the moment. 2 seconds. That's the one. Okay, cool. We'll do that one as well. Right, that's to me. This is very really. I wonder if they put in triplets, but let me see. Yeah, this form, kind of like what you would call rounded binary in trad music, and indeed like Scottish, English, Cornish, anything from the Shetlands, anything from Brittany, anything from Galicia and Spain, kind of this like anywhere that's had a sort of a touch of Celtic culture over the centuries. they tend to have a lot of their folk music, and it's kind of going back into the Baroque era, I suppose, like 17th century stuff, where binary form was the main sort of way of structuring it. So you have an A section and then a B section. The B section here is actually written out, whereas the A section just has a little repeat mark, so you just go back and repeat all that again. And then the B part, you don't have to because it's already written out. Now, the reason why they've written it out is because, strictly speaking, this is rounded binary, where you have like an A section up here. I wonder if I could type it or write that in. Yeah, that's our A section. I don't know if you guys could even see me right now. Yeah. And this is our B section here, but there's a wee touch of the A at the end, which is kind of the same. I think it's actually exactly the same as this whole part here. So it's like the second half of the A section comes back, and as the last part of the B section. That's called rounded binary, where there's a little bit of the A just coming back again. That's you can tell that's more common in older tunes, because it goes into the sort of early Baroque era, into the sort of mid 17th century, where a lot of binary forms were rounded binary. There's a wee bit of A. So it's not as common as other binary tunes in trad music, where it's just an A section and a B section and it just repeated A A B B A A B B. This is A A B small a A B A. So you got an A, the A's repeated, then you got the B section, and then you got a little tiny A at the end. So it's kind of nice to seeing those. They're rare enough. Again, let's see if we can download them. Go to download, go to MIDI. There we go. There's the MIDI. Right, click, open with MuseScore. It's probably written it all out again, because when you download MIDI, yeah, see there's no repeat mark, it's just the A section again. But we'll tidy it up. Okay. Spit to scary. Let me see. Spit to scary. There we go. Yeah, we'll push those two together. That's lovely. Great stuff, guys. I haven't forgotten about the 5/4 stuff. Don't worry, that's going to be something coming up in a future bouzouki lesson. So I will be looking into those as well. But this is just for future lessons. This is going to come after that. Cool. Excellent. Good stuff. Oh, ready. Oh, Paul, let me see. Stupid question. No such thing as stupid question, guys. Just keep the questions coming. Trying to work on my music reading, but what is, if any, difference between the stems pointing up versus pointing down? There's no difference in sound. It's just the way that it's written. It makes it easier for the musicians to see. That's all. Nearly everything in music, when it comes to grouping of notes and writing of notes, is just to make it easier to read. I suppose the equivalent, if you think of it, like imagine trying to read a newspaper, but there's no punctuation and there's no spacing between the words. It's possible to do, but it would be harder to do. So that's why there's very strict rules in music theory about how to group notes together. Do stems go up? Do stems go down? When to put in accidentals or not? All of these things have very sort of strict guidelines, in the same way as, the English language. When do you put a capital in? When do you put a full stop, a comma, question mark? Spacing of the words, the order of the words as well. Where do you put your nouns, your verbs, your adjectives? So the same number of rules, maybe not the same number of rules, but the same types of rules are used in music as they are in language. And in fact, even some of the things that we talk about in music, like a musical phrase, a musical sentence, a cadence, all of these things come from the world of language as well. So, there might be, you need somebody with a PhD in, linguistics or something to tell you about where all that comes from. So yeah, I'll show you guys then the sort of rules behind that, just because it won't take long. That's a nicer one. An easier one, I suppose, than the one about double sharps and flats, which is like hitting a grade 4, grade 5 theory. This is wee bit more straightforward for me. So if I open up just a blank MuseScore just to show you guys, we'll keep it as keyboard just for the crack. Oh, maybe not harpsichord, keyboard. And well, yeah, do we need the bass clef? Probably not. Um, let's see. Get rid of bass. There we go. Let's get rid of this gap at the start. I really don't like that. Yeah, get rid of it. There we go. Okay. Don't need a title, don't need subtitle, don't need a composer. Okay, so yeah, the straightforward 4/4. If I was to draw in, that's like a rake of quavers here. These guys. These are worth half or eighth notes, as it's called here. That's what I like about MuseScore as well. It gives you the American terminologies right next door. Eighth notes and quavers. Yeah. I would, if you're wondering, guys, which should you learn, the American or the British stroke Irish system, I would actually recommend the American system. It makes far more sense when you see the relationship between notes because they do the same thing in time signatures here as well. Like, what does 4/4 mean? Four crotchets. Why is crotchets called four? Well, it's worth a fourth of the longest note we use in music today, anyway. Semibreves. Like, well, why are they called crotchets? Why don't we just call them the way the Americans call them, quarter notes? That makes far more sense. So it ties in with time signatures as well. If you're wondering which avenue should you go down. So if you're learning music theory and you're not too worried about sitting exams in UK or Ireland in music theory, and even then, if you are, they do accept the American terminologies anyway. I would strongly advise going down the American terminology route. I could see the British quavers and crotchets and all that disappearing over the next 100 years because of the internet. Like, the amount of stuff on Wikipedia and the internet is really beginning to replace all of these older terms. And even the fact that we're using, MuseScore and it has the American terminology in there, eighth note. So yeah, it's one of those things to watch out for, guys. So we're going to put in a rake of eighth notes, quavers, and just to show you. Oops. Okay. So, no difference in sound. Okay, from this C all the way up to this C. Okay, so the stem directions always point up if the notes are below this middle line. Now here is the kicker. What happens if there's a note above the middle line that's connected to the other group? Well, because there's one note beneath this middle line, there's two notes beneath this middle line, and there's a note on the middle line, and then just one note above the middle line. Because there's two underneath and only one above, and the one in the middle can go either way, it takes precedence that the stems will go up because there's more notes pointing up. So if you're going to connect all these quavers together, then yeah, the stems need to go up. Now, if they had been individual crotchets, for example, let's draw them as crotchets. Notice that the program now has the C with the stem going down because it's a crotchet. It's no longer connected to the other notes. Okay, so it's now got to have its stand on its own 2 feet, really. And it's got to sort of point downwards. It's always pointing in to the middle. So the notes that go above the middle line, D, E, all these notes, you can see that the stem always points in. And if it goes below, always points up. And it's up on the right and down on the left. Just makes it easier. Some people will want to know who chose that. Why does it go up on the right and down on the left? I don't know, is the short answer. I could find out. I'm not sure if you'd be interested in the answer, because I remember a young student asking me once, where did the word crotchet come from? Where did the word quaver come from? Is there any note longer than the semibreve? Well, these type of questions. Yeah, and I was able to find out the answers for them for the next lesson. But remember, it's not really that important. Just take it as these are the terms. In the same way as when you're teaching like students, the letters of the alphabet. There's very few children who would ask, well, where did the letter C come from? And some teachers will know, about the history of the English language and, exactly where it developed from. But it's not really important to know, when you're trying to learn English, is it? just where did these letters actually come from. You can learn that later. The important thing is learning what they are, and then you can learn where they come from. So all these rules about why is it down on the left and up on the right, don't worry about it just yet. As long as you can get the rules and write it properly, that's the main thing. Okay. Let me see. What is, if any, the difference between the stems pointing up versus pointing down? The other thing as well, is there any other rules for this? Yeah, what happens if you have something like one that's here and it's going to be connected to the next one? What's going to happen if I put in an F? Look what happened to the stems. So this one's pointing down on the left and this one's pointing down, even though they're both equally far away from the middle line. But if this one was closer, see the way the stems swapped over automatically? That's now up on the right, because this one is furthest away. So sometimes it's not just a matter of how many notes are beneath the middle line. It also can be, is there one note that's further away? Like the furthest note away from the middle line will always win the battle about where the stems are going to go. So this one's closer to the middle line, this middle B here. So it has to now go up. But if I move him up, it now swaps over. And especially if I go any further, because now it's further away from the middle line than this E. What happens if I put in a couple of more notes beneath the middle line? Now you see how that's quite interesting, that this note, and this note are all beneath the middle line, but because this guy is so far away, he sort of has pulled all the stems from onto the left hand side. If I take that note and bring him down, see all the notes are pointing up now. So those two notes are still equally far away from the middle line, but now there's actually other notes connected to the grip that are beneath the middle line. There's 3 notes that are under this middle line, so now the grip is going to go up. So I suppose you could think of the rules hierarchical. If the note is on its own, then if it's above the middle line, the stem is down on the left. If it's below the middle line, the stem is up on the right. Okay? Or you want to think of it as the tail. Sometimes people call it stem, tail, and ticks. There's lots of different names that they give for these things, although technically speaking, you're talking about semi-quavers if you start going into, tails and ticks and stuff. But we're just going to call them all stems, okay, just to keep it simple. So stems go down on the left if the note's above the middle line, and up on the right if the note is beneath the middle line. So it's always pointing into the middle. That's the way I remember it. Point into the middle of the staff, point into the middle of the staff. Okay, that's the first rule. If it's part of a grip, then you've got to say, well, are most of the notes beneath the middle line or above the middle line? So whichever group has the most notes beneath or above, that group wins the fight of who is going to determine where the stems are going. So there's 2 notes beneath this B, and there's only 1 note above. So all of them are going to go up. Okay. There's other rules about, well, how do you know that these 4 notes are going to be grouped together? That's called note gripping. That's different from stems. That's another thing. How do you know when to group notes together? I can do another theory thing on that, another stage. So that's the second rule then. The second rule is if it's grouped with other notes, the group or the number of notes that are the most that are beneath or above, they win. So if there's more notes beneath, that group is going to win, and there's more notes above, that group is going to win. And that will determine which direction the stems go. And then the final rule, the third rule, I suppose, is, well, distance from the middle line matters as well. If they are equidistant, then it can be either, depending on context. Have you got, like, say, for example, these guys didn't exist. Okay? You can see here that this has the stem going down, this has the stem going down, and because these two are equal, it would make sense for them to have the stem going down rather than this stem's going up, because it's just a bit harder to read you know, having this go into that, then to that, then to that. Whereas this, you can see it's easier to read because everything is going the same way. Okay, so it just makes life easier for the musician to read. Okay. But the third rule that we're talking about, what happens if you have a mixture of notes above and below, but one of the notes is really far away? It's going to win, as you can see. So it's pulled all, it's pulled all the other notes in this group, this direction, because it's so far away. It would look a bit weird if it was like this. See how long the stems have got to be? It just looks a wee bit crazy if you do it this way. Whereas when you do it this way, it's not as bad. So, yeah, there's the 3 rules. If the note's on its own, if it's above, it goes down. If it's below, it goes up. If it's grouped with other notes, how many are below, how many are above, that'll determine it. And if there's a note that's really far away, then that will affect it as well. The tricky part comes, what happens if you have one note that's really far away on this side and a note that's really far away on this side? See how weird it's beginning to look? Yeah, it starts to get a wee bit silly and stupid looking, although there's very few melodies that are going to sound like this. Boop, beep, boop, boop. It's like RGDT or something, so it's not going to be like that. You know, there's not many melodies that are that crazy looking. There we go. Let me see. Good choice, Martin. I remember playing both of those tunes as a pair with loads of fiddles and guitars, and me and Mando. Yeah, those are great tunes, guys. I don't know those tunes, so it's great that you guys know them. Are teaching me stuff too. It's brilliant. So it's nothing to do with the upbeat or downbeat, which is what I'm concerned. Oh, like the anacrusis. Oh, when you say upbeat, like you mean like stroke, like downstroke or upstroke, you know, for I suppose like for strumming the guitar type of thing, or mandolin or bouzouki. Yeah, those type of things don't really feature in the notation. No, but there are certain rules though, or not rules, guidelines that it's good to determine guidelines for this. If I wanted to play like the scale of D major, for example, let's write them in. I could have just selected all of them at once. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. There we go. Notice that everything here is now changed over. So it's only one note beneath, 2 notes above. Let's just have a listen. So this is in 4/4. So there's 4 beats in the bar, 2 real strong ones. The first beat is the strongest. Third beat is the second strongest. That's why there's a break between these 2 groups of notes. And the second beat and the 4th beat aren't as strong. But there's 4 beats in this bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and ba 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 ba. If you were to play that, it would be more normal for where the stresses are in the bar for it to be a downstroke. So if I was to put in bowing, can I put in bowing on the piano? Well, let's try. Why not? Let's have a go. This would be interesting. Bowing. Never tried this. Because fiddle players are going to think of this as well. Oh, hold on. What was that? Yeah, articulations. So, yeah, this would be your down bow. Down, up, down, up. So, yeah. And these would be your ups. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. If you were to play those individual notes in the bouzouki, for example. Da, da, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then, of course, the next, bar could go, begin here. So you had an upbeat here, or up and then down again. It's more common to alternate back and forth rather than having, say, an upbeat and then another upbeat, or down and then another down. It's more common to alternate it this way. Okay. So notice we ended on a down here, but then we had a rest. So the next one could then begin on a down. If you wanted to go down here, you could. So it's more common then for the start of the bars to have, or the main beats of the bar to have like the down, and the lesser ones to have the up, the weaker beats to have the upbeat. Doesn't have to be though. And if you were writing for, say, fiddle, if you were composing for violin, some composers are very specific about the direction of bowing that they want, and will indicate that in the score and say to the musician, okay, I want you to go against what your natural instinct would be and have like an up bow at the start of the main beat of the bar. So they would have to indicate that. If you had no indication whatsoever, a fiddle player would just know. They would just know to start that on a down bow. It would be against their natural inclination to start with an up on the first beat of the main bar like that, on the first main beat of the bar. You wouldn't really start with an up. So yeah, these things are kind of learnt over time. And if the composer wanted them to, you have to indicate, okay, I want you to start with an up. And that'll feel a bit weird to them. But yeah, it's possible. Okay, so hopefully that answers the down beats. I'm hoping that's what you were asking. If not, let me know. It's no worries. If I'm misunderstanding the questions, guys, that's no probs. No probs. Okay. Mando, but not as fast as they were playing them at our session last night. Just played bouzouki. Yeah, it sounded like they got faster there, Martin, as well. Yeah, at the end of that recording, they were sort of speeding up. They were getting into it. Wanting to sort of like let it rip. Yeah, I kind of like the slow sessions that I've been to are usually not so much for performance, with a live audience or whatever. It's been more sort of just the exchange tunes and teach each other tunes, sort of giving each other time to like, okay, or even record it, so you can hear it very clearly, what's going on. And then maybe at the end of the night to try them out to see if you've had a go at playing through them. So like, yeah, the slow sessions are definitely becoming far more popular, which is good to see, rather than people just practicing on their own all the time. Yeah, that's exactly what I was wondering. Oh, that's good, Paul. Yeah, so that's the question. Yeah, there's probably actually books on articulation, guys. Copland wrote one, Rimsky-Korsakov wrote one, Tchaikovsky wrote one. Who else wrote one? Berlioz. There's a few classical composers who wrote entire, publications, treatises, and like guides and orchestration books for composers. What's the best way to write for a group of stringed instruments, or what's the good range for the clarinet, that type of thing. And in that as well, they go into things like up bows and down bows for the stringed instruments. Exactly the same rules can be, or guidelines can be applied for guitars, mandolins, bouzoukis, anything to do with strumming, because you're doing the same thing. Your natural inclination is to feel a downbeat as being stronger. Okay, or downstroke, I should say, as being stronger. Okay, so first beat of the bar in 4/4, that's your strong beat. Dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. Now, if we were in 6/8, what happens? Let's change it over, just to see is there anything that we should think about for different time signatures. Let's bring in 6/8. So it's still going to be down. Articulations. Yeah, there we go. So down, up. This is where it gets a wee bit tricky. Down, up, down, down. So we needed another downbeat there. We need those downbeat there and there. Da da bum bum. Because there's two main beats in the bar now. So 6/8, 6 quavers in a bar, or 6/8 notes in the bar. Makes far more sense, the American system. 6/8 notes in the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that's not how many beats there are. You don't clap or tap your foot to every single quaver. You don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't do that. So let me just make sure that my microphone. Sorry, guys. 2 secs. There we go. Okay. You don't sort of clap to every single quaver. So you've got to take into account where the main beats are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ba 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 ba. And for you guys in the full course, you know I've gone through this in one of the lessons, one of the early lessons about feeling reels and jigs. So for this one, it's down, and then your next stroke is bound to be up. And then because that was up, the next one's bound to be down. But look what happens. You have two down beats next to each other. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, bam, 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 bam. That's what gives the jig its sort of da 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 da. It's almost like a bit of a stuttery feel to it sometimes. If you get a really like strong rhythmic guitar player doing that, they'd be very good at da 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 da. Gives a heck of a rhythmic drive to a lot of jigs. It can propel them forward quite fast. Ba bum bum ba bum. So jigs can be like this. Down, up, down, down, up. I'm just going to delete the rest of this for a sec. And I'll just emphasize it so you guys can hear it. I'm going to put in little accents. Down, up, down. I actually might slow it down as well and just put in a repeat mark. Let me see, repeats and tempo. Where's tempo speed? Try this one. Slow it down a wee bit. Zoom in a wee bit. You guys can see it a wee bit more clearly. Down, up, down, down, up. Down, up, down, down. If I put another accent, you should be able to hear the two down beats next to each other. So down, up, down, 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 down, up, the whole way through the jig. If I speed it up. Bum, 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 bum. Oops. Try that. Down, up, down, 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 dump, bump. And of course, you put that up to sort of like a full speed thing. You can get quite down, up, 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 up. What you tend to find is that can be quite tiresome after a while doing that. So what a lot of bouzouki players will do is rather than do that, they might have like a dum bum 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 dum bum 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 bum, and do it like down down up, and swap these over. So up, down, up. So down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. You know, that's easier to play. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, up. So you might think, well, I've still got two down beats next to each other. Yes, but the first one is a crotchet or a quarter note, and the second one is a quaver or an eighth note. And it's a little bit longer, gives you a wee bit more time. Dum da 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 dum da 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 down down up down up down down up down up bum 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 bum, and it's just alternating back and forth after that. So this could be a bit tricky to maintain, but it's definitely worth learning this jig rhythm more than this one. This one you use to break up this one, but this one should be the main sort of rhythmic drive that you have throughout the whole jig. Da da da, down up down down up down down up down down up ba 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 ba. Okay. The thing to actually maybe emphasize it would be, where was that app that I used to have? Oh, I think I missed it. It's way over here. Ollie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ba 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 ba. Let me see if I can get in. There's the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Activate your 6. And let's activate the 2. That should be it. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ba, 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 ba. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down, up, down, 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 down, ba 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 ba. Yeah, so it should have like a feel of this should be a bit louder than this one, even though I put an accent in here. I'm going to take that out just so you feel ba 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 ba. So it's almost like anticipating the next stressed downbeat. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Whereas this is down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, bum, ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum. So a bit more emphasis on the first beat here because it's longer and it's still a down stroke, and it's twice as long as it was over here. But the rest of the rhythm is weaker because of that. Dum ba 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 bum ba 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 ba, and that can get repetitive as well. So mix between them, but try forcing this a wee bit more. I think would be nicer sort of feel to it. Is there a quick way to decipher key signatures? For example, you see 3 flats at the beginning. You decipher these to be E flat, B flat, and A flat. So it's a scale of C minor, I think. 5 minutes to work out. Yes. There's little things I've got up on the website, guys, as well, on Top Score Music Academy and in my Instagram as well, where I try to do like music theory in a minute or a minute and a half. And there's 2 rules for all key signatures, and yeah, they're literally a minute each. 1 for sharps, 1 for flats. Just to sort of show you guys what it looks like. I can put this in, I think, into the chat or into the course. If you join the courses, you'll find this. Yeah, I'll put it up on the website as a freebie. Why not? It'll be in the community then as well. Let me see. Music theory. Oh, there we go. Beginner music theory. Oh, goodness. Trying to find anything in my computer, lads. Key signatures, yes. Major key signatures. Open up. Please open up. Just going to close some things down just in case. Okay, you can screenshot that, guys, if I get my big head out of the way. Let me see. Yes. And maybe my logo as well. Can I get rid of logo there? There we go. Okay. Actually, you know what? Make it full screen. There we go. So, guys, there is 2 rules. 1 for sharps, 1 for flats. Okay, so the sharp rule, you can do this for, it's a bit childish, but I have been criticized in the past for doing things like this to trivializing music theory, even to university students, but I don't care as long as you remember it. So you can put anything you want in here. Father Christmas gave Dad an electric blanket. You can, one of my other students has Fred's cat got diarrhea after eating beans. Whatever works. And blanket explodes and Dad gets cold feet for flats. So if we look at sharps, if you're looking for what the key signature of D major is, count back a letter in the musical alphabet and you'll find the last sharp. So the letter before D is obviously in the musical alphabet. The letter before D is C. Therefore, D major has F sharp and C sharp if you see them in the rule here. So it'll always give you the last sharp. So if we know that C is the last sharp, then F is obviously going to be the first. Father Christmas. So say you were looking for the key signature of B major, count back a letter from B, and you're going to get A, which is the 5th word along in the rule. Father Christmas gave Dad an. So this simple little rule gets you all the sharp key signatures and actually the order in which they're written as well. F is always the first, C is always the second, G is always the third, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So that rule really is quite easy if you just remember to count back a letter in the musical alphabet. Same thing happens, guys, if you see like a staff with sharps in it. You can just easily determine what the key signature is by counting back. Okay, so let's say you saw a key signature that had F sharp, C sharp, let's do a few more, G sharp and D sharp. We'll find the last sharp. You're using the rule backwards. The last sharp is D. And instead of counting back a letter, count forward a letter. So if you go forward from D, you're going to hit E. So this is the key signature of E major, this one here. So the rule works backwards and forwards. If you're looking for the key, find the last sharp and count forward a letter in the musical alphabet. If you've got the key and you're looking for the key signature, count back a letter from the key to find the last sharp, and then you'll find out where that is in the rule. Just count along until you find it. Okay, so that's one rule. If this doesn't make sense, guys, do let me know, because I'm sort of bulldozing my way through grade 1 to grade 5 theory here in about 5 minutes. So this is sort of stuff was taught over like a year or two. So if you're following along, brilliant. If not, don't worry, because it is meant to be, a bit more spread out than this. The flats is a little bit different. Blanket explodes and dad gets cold feet. So say you're looking for the key signature of E flat major. Rather than going back a letter in the musical alphabet, you don't do that for flats. What you do is you look for the word, the letter in the rule itself. So E is the second letter or the second word in the rule. Blanket explodes. And then you count one forward to find the last flat. B flat, E flat, and A flat. So E flat major has 3 flats. B flat, E flat, obviously, because that's the key, and one more, A flat. So always go forward a word. The easiest way to remember that is if you think of just alliteration. For flats, you're going forward a word. Okay, so flats, forward a word. Sharps, you're just going back a letter in the musical alphabet. So you just have to learn that. But for flats, if you just remember forward a word. So this is a great system of quickly remembering all your key signatures, guys, because you could do it in about 2 minutes if you remember those 2 rules. It gets you all of them. These are all the major keys that exists. There are no others. The downside to it is if you get them mixed up, it has a domino effect in that you'll get everything wrong. So be sure that you pick maybe one key from each side and remember the relationship between the key and the last accidental or the last sharp. So I always do D major and maybe E flat major would be my 2 go-to ones. I like those 2 keys. I like playing those 2 keys on the piano as well. So pick one from either side and just memorize the key signature for each one, and you'll hopefully see the relationship between the key signature and the key. Okay, for minors, there's one extra thing you've got to do, and that is convert them into majors. So I think there, Paul was saying, yeah, C minor, for example. How do you know C minor has 3? Because all of these are major. How do you know if C minor has 3 flats? Well, what you should do in that case is, if I open up the other handout, is convert them into majors. Let me see if we can find them. Yeah, let's just do the sharp ones. So this is the same information on this side, all in blue here. We've now just put it here. So it's the same information, and this is all the equivalents for sharp keys that are minor. Okay, so how did we get there? If you read this, I know it's like at a 90-degree angle. For relative minors, count down 3 semitones. So every single major key has a relative minor. G major, its equivalent is E minor. D major, its equivalent is B minor. A major, its equivalent is F sharp minor, because it's been sharpened by the key signature. It's not F minor, it's F sharp minor. E major, it's equivalent to C sharp minor, and so on, and so on, and so on, all the way down here. And this kind of feeds into what we were talking about last week, guys, about why there's double sharps in some key signatures. We did G sharp minor last week. Or not key signatures. Why is there double sharps in music? It's because you're raising a note that was already sharpened by the key signature. So you can see there's 3 of them here. You're going to have double sharps in the music. Okay, so the key signature will have a G sharp, but if you look at the music, you're going to see all the G's are also raised again in the actual tune, actual music. So how did you find all of these keys? You just count down 3 semitones to get from major to minor. You want to think of it the other way? I just literally did one today, like a little thing that's going to go out on the Instagram, and I used B minor as an example, and I just count up 3 semitones from B minor to get to D major, and I can work out what D major's key signature is. F and C sharp. That's an easy one. So if D major has F and C sharp, B minor is also going to have F and C sharp. The only difference if you're looking at the music, you will not hear a difference unless you've got perfect pitch and can easily read the score. But if you're looking at the music and you can't hear it in your mind, how do you know if it's minor or major? Well, look at the music, and if you start seeing loads of A sharps throughout the music, raised seventh, that's how you know that they're in the key of B minor, because B minor not only has these sharps in its key signature, it also, like all minors, is going to have a raised note as well. In this case, A sharp. Okay, so you're never going to see that in the key of D major ever. You're never going to see A sharps in there. Okay, so minors are a wee bit tricky because there's one extra step. You've got to convert them into majors. So I think the one that Paul was asking there was C minor. Yeah, so for C minor, go up 3 semitones from C, and you're going to land on E flat. So C minor is going to have the same key signature as E flat. From remembering your flat rule, you'll know that E flat is the second flat in the rule. So blanket explodes, and then count 1 forward to get its last flat. Okay. So 3 flats in the key of E flat major, and if E flat major has 3 flats, and so will C minor. It's also going to have 3 flats. How do you know the difference between them if you can't hear the music? Look at the score, and if you see lots of raised sevenths, in other words, B naturals everywhere in the music, that's how you know the piece is going to be C minor. You will not see B naturals in the key of E flat major, ever. It's the dominant note, and dominants are so important to establish keys, so you're never going to see a B natural in E flat major. It'll always be a B flat. But in C minor, you'll see them. It's the 7th, it's not the dominant. It's the raised 7th in C minor. Okay, so again, as I say, don't worry, guys, if you're finding this pretty tricky. As I say, this is like grade 1 to grade 5 theory, and usually this is done with my students. This would be done over like maybe 2 years or so. I could do it over, like a summer with them, if a crash course from nothing to grade 5 over a summer. But that would require going through, doing it not skipping a day, like doing 10, 12 pages of exercises a day, just to get through all the books. So it is possible to sort of do a crash course in music theory and bring yourself up to grade 5. Not many people go beyond that, which is unfortunate because that's the area I love, is the advanced stuff, grade 6, 7, and 8. I teach that as well, so not many students go that far, and you don't really need to. You're getting into specialist territory there about figured bass and composition and writing, for 4 voices, SATB choir, or writing for a trio sonata or something, and studying scores, analyzing scores, orchestral scores and things. So unless you have a real deep love of classical music and you really want to understand like the most complicated things about music, yeah, grade 6, 7, and 8 is where you want to go after you've done your grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The jump between grade 5 and grade 6, it's a chasm. Okay, so it's almost like going back to I have to start again from scratch, because they expect you to know everything from grade 1 to 5, but then there's a whole host of new things that they give you in grade 6 that they expect you to do, like figured bass for one. So it's really only up to grade 5, guys, that you need to know, and this is about as far in grade as you would go in grade 5, is like up to maybe 6 sharps and flats. You don't really need to go any further than that, to be honest. Okay, so hopefully that's okay. Yeah, so lots of theory stuff tonight, guys. Very good, very good. Okay, I'm just gonna take a wee drink. Okay, guys, so yeah, any other questions as work away? Don't really need this anymore, this one. Oh, actually, I'll keep it open. You never know. Definitely going to take my tablets after that, but excellent. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's like that's a tricky one about sharps and flats. But remember the sharp rule and the flat rule, and remember one key from either, and that'll get you all the majors. Once you've got all the majors, guys, the minors, you just have to convert them. Like if I was to bring up the piano classroom maestro here. Let me see. Don't really need him open. Don't really need him open. Actually, don't really need anything open. Let's do scale. Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking for the scale of A major. Do I use the flat or sharp rule? Well, I'm going to be using the sharp rule because for the flat rule, nearly all of them have a flat in the name. So if it was E flat major, like this note here, I probably would be using the E. I would be using the flat rule for that. So it's not E flat major I'm looking for. I'm just looking for E major. So if we just write that in, just so I don't forget, E major. What is the sharp rule for using sharps? Well, you count back a letter in the alphabet. The letter before E is D. That's the last sharp. So Father Christmas gave Dad. So 4 sharps in the key of E major. If I play them in. E major. There we go. Actually make this a wee bit bigger. It's a bit squished. There we go. Okay. So, okay, so you can see what that looks like on the piano as well. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E. Notice that the way that they're played doesn't reflect how they'll be written in a key signature. Like if you were doing this in a key signature, there is how you would write them. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. Exactly the same way that you've actually written them out in the rule. F, C, G, D. So now if I play it, I won't need any sharps. Because they're already taken care of in the key signature. Okay, so that's E major. What happens if I made this E flat? What do I do here? Well, I've got to actually ignore all the sharps. So let's do that, and let's get rid of all the sharps. E flat major, I look for where E is in the rule. I don't count back a letter. I look for where it is in the rule. Blanket explodes. It's the second letter. The second word, maybe is a better way of thinking of it. Blanket explodes, and then count 1 forward from that. Blanket explodes, and... So remember, for flats, you go forward a word in the rule. And for sharps, you go back a letter in the alphabet. They are nothing alike. This is where students get mixed up. They think it's back a letter, forward a letter, or back a word, forward a word. They are complete opposites in every way possible. So one's going back a letter in the alphabet. That's the sharps. The flats are going forward a word in the rule. Nothing to do with the alphabet at all. Okay, so going forward a word in the rule. So remember, for flats, it's forward a word in the rule. Blanket explodes, and... So for E flat major, that would look something like... There we go. E flat major. E, F, G. So there was E flat, and here's E again. Oops. So E major has 4 sharps, but E flat major has 3 flats, so they're nothing like each other whatsoever. There's no real relationship there. Okay. So that's the way. I think that's the easiest way of doing it is just memorize one key from one rule and one key from another. D major has 2 sharps, E flat major has 3 flats, and just look for the relationship between them. And you kind of already know now that's something to do with going back a letter in the alphabet and something to do with going forward a word in the rule. If you remember those 2 things, this is going to get you everything to do with key signatures. It's going to get you everything to do with scales. It's going to get you everything to do with intervals. It's going to give you everything to do with chords and chord qualities. Why are some chords called major? Why are some called minor? Why are some chords augmented or diminished or suspended? All of this comes back to this flat and sharp rule, which is why I always make it as... trying to make it as memorable as possible by using a little mnemonic device like that. A little mnemonic device like Father Christmas gave Dad an electric blanket. Blanket explodes and Dad gets cold feet. Just remember those 2 rules, and the amount of theory that it covers, up to grade 5 anyway, is tremendous. After a while, guys, you just won't need it. Okay, you will just not need it because you'll be so used to figuring out what a key is, like D major 2 sharps, G major 1 sharp, E minor 1 sharp, B minor 2 sharps, A major 3 sharps, E flat major 3 flats. It'll just come naturally after a while. You've spent so many times consulting the rule and finding the answer, consulting the rule, finding the answer, that after a while you won't even need to consult the rule. That middle part will just go, and you'll just know D major is 2 sharps, F and C. You'll be so used to it. The more you practice it. Yeah, so it doesn't take long. It really doesn't. It's far quicker to do it this way than to do it the way I learned it, which was, 2 or 3 keys per grade. It took years to get through all of them. If someone had have told me when I was doing grade 1, just remember 1 rule for sharps, 1 rule for flats, I would have flown through the theory in a matter of like a year or 2 at most. Whereas the way it was a long hard slog for me. It took me I think it was 5 years to get grade 1 to grade 5. I think I started when I was like 9 or 10 or something. So it wasn't until I was 15 until I was finally a grade 5. Whereas if someone had said it's a simple rule, I probably would have had it done by the time I was 11, before even going to secondary school. So yeah, it's one of these things to watch out for, guys. There's usually quite a lot of gatekeeping, I've noticed, especially over the last few years online, of people trying to make music theory out to be a hell of a lot harder than it is, and it really isn't. It really, really isn't. And I'm a member of a lot of Facebook groups that to do with music theory, where people spend hours and hours arguing over how many angels in the head of a pin type of thing. Is it an augmented 6th chord? Is it a dominant 7th chord? There's so many. What makes up a chord? Can 2 notes be a chord, like a power chord? Do you need 3 notes? Do you need at least 3 notes to have There's so much debate and argument over this, which composers like Bach and Mozart and musicians like Louis Armstrong or Dizzy Gillespie, or they didn't waste time on this stuff. All that music theory is just a way for you to understand music better and transmit it and learn it better, and for others to learn it from you better. That's it. Okay, so don't get too bogged down on like all the rules, and also be very wary if you're online and any YouTube channel that tries to say, okay, this is really simple. It's not. Or any music YouTube channel that's trying to say, this is really complicated. It's not. It's as simple and as complicated as you make it out to be, and as much as you're willing to put into it. Okay, so it really shouldn't be as hard as some people make it out to be. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the difference. E flat and E major were the 2 that I did there, just to show you. Is there any relationship between something that's E major and E flat major, or G major and G flat major, or A major and A flat major? No, there isn't. They just have very similar sounding names, but there's no relationship at all. A major has 3 sharps. A flat major has 4 flats. So it's not really a relationship there. Okay, so you just have to learn those 2 rules and you'll be fine. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but what I'll be doing as well, for any of you guys who are looking at my stuff and thinking, how am I going to find this in the, like in an hour and a half long video? How am I going to find the minute don't worry, I've got you covered in this as well, because I was thinking some of these YouTube things that I go on about last an hour and a half, and you may only want to listen to like 2 minutes of it, or come back to 2 minutes. If I quickly just show you what I've been doing in my YouTube channel, that I've put like little things in the description to help you find the minute and second for particular topics. Let me see. Okay, so if we go to last week's Ask Me Anything, which was an hour, that was a mammoth one. Well, I suppose it could be. Okay, yeah, so we went in almost 2 hours. Yeah, so if we just click on this for a second, and there's me going through the scales from last week as well. If you come down underneath, you see in the, imagine you're doing a key, shush. If you come down underneath, you see where I pinned like a little description for you guys. And if you just click on read more, all the topics, I put it through AI. So anything that I was talking about, you know, down to the minute and second, you can click on this and it'll take you to that exact minute and second. You know, so there's the relative minor concept. I talked about that for 2 minutes and 40 odd seconds last week. And in harmonic minor scale, the raised seventh, there it is there. B major's relationship to G sharp minor, there it is there. I'm going to do that for every video. I've done it for all the previous Ask Me Anythings. So just go into the comments and leave a comment yourself. You can say anything you like. So yeah, there's a wee thing in here that you guys can click on, and you know, it'll just give you like a sort of a rundown of all the stuff that we talked about in that particular class. Okay, so there we go. It's all in there if you need it. I'll do the same thing for this one as well. So every topic we discussed will come up. Okay. Yeah. So keep asking, guys. Anything at all. Where you go. Over to you. Actually, I could show you guys what I was working on earlier on. Shooters, shorts, minor key signatures. It's squished. Okay, so yeah, this is like what, 1 minute and 20. Yeah, I kind of broken my rule about not going over a minute, but well, you know what? It's only 1 minute and 20 seconds. So this was the one that I was doing for minor keys. And I'm gonna. Okay, guys, we're gonna be looking at minor keys. Minor keys. Yeah, so this is the one that I'm gonna be uploading to Instagram. So I'll be doing like this. Try to do this like at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Like have a little 1 minute summary. I've done one for the sharp rule, I've done one for the flat rule, and I've just done one today for the minor rule, minor key signatures. And maybe next week I'll do one for intervals, the week after that I'll do one for chords, the week after that I'll do one for chord progressions, the week after that it'll start getting more and more advanced, so at least you'll have like a wee quick summary of everything. Or you can jump into the YouTube video and just find it there somewhere. No worries, Paul. I have to head away. Thanks again for all the help and time. Much appreciated. No worries. Take it easy. All the best. Take care. Yeah, so this is the one that I made today for everybody. Is there another rule that you need to know for minor key signatures? Not really. If you remember your flat rule and your sharp rule from the previous videos, then all you've got to do for minor keys is convert them into major. Go up 3 semitones. So in this case, we're starting... It's very, very loud, but hopefully I can turn that down a wee bit. So, yeah, I'll be putting that up on Instagram, guys. Get me out. There we go. It's only 1 minute long, 1.5 minutes. Okay. So, over to you guys. Okay. While you guys are thinking up a question, I'm just going to get this Buddhist Gary and Williford ready. You know what? Easier way to do this. Let me see. If I go into instrumental tuition, the Bouzouki tuition, and is it Olivia or is it? No, it's in here. Okay, who was D major? I think Madam Maxwell, you were D major, weren't you? Yes, you were. Okay. Oh, I forgot to check the community, guys. Sorry. Let's check to see if anyone left anything inside the community. Nope, okay, no worries. Okay, this is going to be... what should I call these? I think... was it Martin who was saying these are... Shetland tunes, I think. I'm just going to call them Shetland tunes, guys. I think the Williford one is. I'm not sure if Spootiscary is, but I'm just going to put it in. They may well be both. Oh, Shetland tunes. It's one after the one before that is 5/4 tunes. Okay. So the reason why I used Madam Maxwell's here, if anyone's wondering, is because it's already formatted. You know, with the tab and everything and the tuning, so I don't have to go in and do that every time. So once you've done it once, you can just copy and paste. All I need to do is select everything and delete it. So it still stays there, the empty bars. So I'm just going to be using those empty bars to put in this tune. Okay. I think that's an upbeat. So if I just select all of that. Actually, I shouldn't. Yeah, just about that would do. The A section. Yeah, I'm gonna put it down an octave. And this should be worth a little upbeat. Bar properties. Worth 1 crotchet. And that would be, what was it? The B. So forward repeating mark, because this part is repeated. So this is the A section. Yeah. And what I try to do is get like 4 bars at the top. There we go. And 4 bars underneath. Get rid of this for a sec. And then that's where my repeat mark would be. Had to figure out the. I think this is all okay with regards like using the first and second course. Okay, yeah, it's all as written. And then here it was the same thing after this. Let me see. Okay, to here, I think that's the B section, and then it's just everything after that's just a repeat. So remember, in MIDI, they don't really take repeats when you export the MIDI from MuseScore or from the session. So you've got to sort of take into account that you want your sheet music to be twice as long. You could probably just do half of what they've given you. That's what I've done. This should be 4 bars in length. There we go. And this should be 4 bars in length. Yeah. There we go. And that should be the end. No, just this one. That's the wrong way around. There we go. Okay. Don't need any of these bars whatsoever. Delete bars. Okay, that should be this one done. And forward. Okay, now as regards the actual melody, I don't think I'll be using, see the way, it's always suspicious when you see that, you know, be on the lookout for it in tab if you see lots of numbers on one string. Especially if you're tuned GDAD. GDAE, it's a lot easier, but GD for melody. GDAD is a bit trickier for melody, as anyone will tell you, when you're going up into the high part. So this might be a bit easier. I have to think about this actually. Just yeah, I'll let you guys hear my rambling when I'm doing this. Let me see. My mic a wee bit closer so it doesn't pick up. So yeah, it's probably easier just to have that on the second chorus. So have this here. So because this is open string, it's just easy to go back and forth. So rather than going, you're lifting your finger off and on, you can just hold down and then this is a tricky one. It's probably yeah, getting between that and that 7 they're right, they're on the same fret, but I've lost fingers. a wee bit hard to do that, but what would be the quickest way of doing that? Maybe. No. That's tricky. It's just because they're on the same fret. I'll zoom in so you guys can see that a wee bit better. 7 and 7 here. The E is on the second course, and the A is on the first course. But I would have thought, looking at that, I thought, oh, that's going to be easy. But then when it came to playing it, I thought, I've run out of fingers. I can do the with the fourth, with the first, with the second, but trying to get back to that F sharp. Yeah, that's probably the hardest part of the piece. That's going to require a wee bit of practice. So yeah, I need to move these out of the way into the second course to make it easier. That should be 9, 10, 9, 7. Yeah, so that is, yeah, having all that in the second course. Hard enough. Same thing here. Oops. Yeah, so that's kind of easy. So that's a really hard bar followed by a super easy one. Well, at least that's nice to know. Be better down, up. Yeah. So. Yeah, ba ba bum. Yeah, maybe it is better to go down here. So at this point. Very really. And then this part's the same. Did I do that? Copy that in. It was E here. Now it's D. That's a lot easier. Oops. It's all okay. Where's the ending? There. Okay, just squish him into this last. There we go. Okay, I think that's that second part. Just double checking. I don't know this tune at all, but it's I can tell it's going to sound nice with that's like, to me that's very like a sea shanty. It's like oh, what is the tune I'm thinking of? There's a tune that's very like that. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a tune that's escaped me, but it's very similar in that. Maybe you guys would know. If you want to leave it in the chat, if you can think of the tune that I'm thinking of there, that would be great if you can remember what it is. I can't remember the name of it though. It is definitely some sort of shanty or something. Maybe I'm thinking of some Disney Channel or something, or Disney film. Oh, that shouldn't be there. Get rid of that. There we go. That second part is a wee bit tricky. Yeah. Remember to go down to that F sharp, or else I'm gonna run out of fingers. Yeah, getting between that second fret there and the 9th fret here is what's proven to be tricky for me. Yeah, so maybe keeping that down at the 4th for the start, and then it swaps over the same note, then is used on the 9th fret here. So it's straight into the F sharp. Yeah, so I'll let you guys see that actually if I swap over to Bouzouki view just for a second. And maybe here. So that's your previous bar. So I have to go. Something like that. I'll learn it properly. I promise. Okay. Radio. Any other questions? Let me just see before I continue on. So I'm just going to do the other one now, and then that'll be me for tonight, I reckon. But if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to ask away. You're kind of just seeing, as usual, the back end of what I do. Behind the scenes. Okay, that one's done. I got it from there. So file and save. I still have to add chords and stuff, but at least I know what the melody is. Oh, this is a bit scary as well. I can't remember this one. Oh, this is in G, this one? Okay. Right. See, I was able to tell that very quickly, guys. So this flat and sharp rule, I just opened it up, was able to see one sharp, count one forward from that sharp to get G. So F sharp, one forward from F is G. Now, if I was looking for the key of G major, I would go one back in the musical alphabet from G, and I would come across F. And that's the last sharp of the key signature, but it's also the first sharp of the rule. So G major only has one sharp, F sharp. So yeah, if I don't see any raised notes, if I start seeing loads of D sharps in the music, it probably then is going to be E minor, this piece. It would have one sharp in the key signature still, but there'd be loads of D sharps everywhere, and there aren't any, so it must be G major. Okay, well, let's just duplicate this thing. And Spooty Scary, I'm just going to pop out to there. And change this name. Spooty Scary. Change it up here as well. And change the key signature to G major. I don't think we need any. I think that's an upbeat. Let me see. Yeah, so there should be an upbeat here as well. That's good. To zoom in to make sure. I'm not zooming in. This is weird. Here we go. That's a nice tune. I can get that audio going. Tin muscle. Very pentatonic there. Is it pentatonic the whole thing? Is there any F sharps in the whole thing? If there aren't, or any C's? I don't think there are. Oh, there is here. Well, the first section is definitely pentatonic. There's only 5 notes: G, D, E, A, and B, and here's your octave versions of those notes. Second part then. Yeah, this part here. I think down to there. The whole thing is pentatonic, guys. So penta meaning 5, like pentagon, and tonic signs, 5 signs, 5 notes in this whole piece. So this is a good example of pentatonicism. Pentatonic scales are very popular in folk music all over the world. But in trad music, there's quite a few very well-known reels and jigs and stuff which are just use 5 notes pentatonic scale. This is a lovely version, a really, really nice one actually. It's quite easy to sort of play this. Just avoid F sharp and avoid C sharp and you should be fine. There's an F sharp there actually. Yeah. Let's go save. There we go. And that should be it. Let's go double check. That's really good. That works. Don't need that. Okay, so those 2 tunes will go together as a nice wee grip because that's the way you, the guys learned them. So yeah, we'll teach that to the rest of the everyone else in the full course. Speaking of which, yeah, guys, we're going to leave it there for today because I'm starting up with the Bouzouki guys in a couple of minutes actually. So if you are in the full course and are part of the online lessons, yes, you can join us there. And if you're just in the full course and you're not part of the online lessons, then you're just going to get like an edited video playback of it. And if you're not in the full course and you're not in the online lessons, then I'm afraid you won't get them at all. So yeah, you have to be in one of the other. So if you're in the live lessons, the subscription, it's like £5 a lesson, so it's really, really dirt cheap. And you get all the handouts too from previous lessons. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come along there. And if you are in the full course, you get playbacks of those, but you don't really benefit from, live interaction or anything. You kind of need to be in both to get everything, so it's kind of, well, depends what you want. I think it's better if you're like in both because you'll have access to all the full course videos, about 17, 18 hours worth of stuff there. You get access to all future lessons that are coming there. And if you are subscribed as well to the monthly lessons, live lessons, then you can come along and actually ask questions and get feedback and stuff as well. So it's the best of all worlds, really. You're more than welcome to join. Hopefully see you guys over there. Yeah, so take care for now, and I'll see you again next week. All the best, Martin. See you.